Buongiorno e benvenuti a tutti. Good day and welcome to everyone. This is the first of our live event that we have arranged for the occasion of the new Marmomac Restart exhibition, which is held online this year. It is so strange to be here alone in Rimini and talking to a camera. I hope you are many. I'm a little excited and I hope not to make so many little mistakes, in case you will forgive me. Today we will start the presentation of our portable machines, a range of cutting machines which are used on site by the operators of our industry. In the showroom we have prepared different models. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you in Achilli company for the first time live. If you have any questions during the speech, you can write in the comments. I will try to respond in real. In case you write many questions, you can contact us on our online stand at the end of the speech. So let's start talking about all the different models. We will use the tag as the main machine for describe all the features of all the other cutting machines. This is the best-seller worldwide machine, which is sold in Italy and abroad for many years. All of our portable models have folding legs for easy transportation, also facilitated by 2 wheels. All our portable bench saws can perform 45 degrees cutting by manually tilting the bridge of the saw. Each saw features a built-in water tank with recycling pump. The tank is normally made of 2 mm thick metal sheet painted in epoxy powder. But on special order, it can be made in aluminum, galvanized or ceramic treated. The work table is made of galvanized steel rails covered with rubber on special order, and it is available in 2 versions with a standard width of 53 cm or a heavy-duty table width of 65 cm. All models can be supplied with single or 3-phase motor and a switch to safely turn the electric motor on and off. But what really differentiates the many models we display in our showroom? Let's find out in a few steps. We can practically divide these machines into 2 categories. In the first group, consisting of essentially 2 models, we have saws with a fixed head and a mobile table, normally used in construction sites for cutting small pieces of building materials. The second group includes all the other models where the table is fixed and the head runs along the bridge. Another difference is the type of cutting head. In the construction industry, operators normally prefer a plunge cutting head like this one. While in the stone fabricating shops, you will see saw heads with a vertical movement through the threaded guides and a hand wheel, a feature that makes the cutting system more accurate. As for the diameter of the blades used, with some exceptions that we will later see specifically, unlike our competitors normally offering a single diameter of 300 mm, our saws allow to use 3 different blade diameters to better meet the correct peripheral speed for the specific stone material being cut. Therefore, it's advisable to use the smallest 250 mm blade for cutting such dense and hard materials as granite, and the 300 or 350 mm blades for softer materials like marble and other stone of similar hardness. On special order, some of these bench saws allow to use blades with larger diameters from 400 to 500 mm. This will involve a change in the structure of the saw to allow cutting thicker pieces by extending the height of the saw shoulders and replacing the blade guard with a larger one. Of course, based on the blade diameter used, the jet of cooling water has to be adjusted accordingly. Now here's an overview of the various models in order to quickly point out the differences. I remind you that each of these saws is properly described on our website, where you can also find the summary of all the information that I'm now sharing with you. I begin with the two models of construction saws that cut by rolling the table. TRT-TL is an extremely versatile chop saw to cut all materials used in the building site. The head has the plunge cutting mechanism, typical in the construction industry, and can tilt at 45 degrees. Useful cut is 600 mm and 800 mm. Blade diameter is 250 to 350, and the maximum cutting depth is 11 cm. The two saws that we will see are absolutely unique. With their 650 mm blade capacity, they are ideal for on-site or in-shop block and bricks cutting. The ATR-XL takes up the same concept as the TRT-TL. This undoubtedly limits the useful cut length, but not the cutting depth, which matches the one of the next model, ADR. The choice between one model and the other is only dictated by the operator's working habit. Useful cut 750, maximum cutting depth 250 mm. ADR is certainly the most complete and perhaps, let me say, the most stable between the two saws. Unlike the plunge cutting models described so far, the depth adjustment of the ADR head through a handle on two threaded bars guarantees greater cutting accuracy. It is available in two sizes, useful cut 1 meter, 1 meter 30, maximum cutting depth is 25 centimeters. The following three models, ATS, ALU and AMS, also feature plunge cutting and are mainly used for tiles and workpieces up to 10 centimeters in thickness. ATS is a light masonry saw to cut small pieces. It is the smallest model in our range, normally used for cutting tiles. As you can see, it has a traditional cutting concept with head sliding and bridge tilt. Useful cut goes from 600 to 1 meter 300. The maximum cutting depth is 5 centimeters when using a 200 millimeter blade, 10 centimeters when using a 300 millimeter blade. The next model, ALU, is a must for on-site operators who mostly work alone. It has transportation wheels, removable water tank, and folding legs to make it an easy one-man operation to load and unload this saw from vehicles. It is made of aluminum, thus offering maximum protection against rust and corrosion. Useful cut goes from 600 mm to 1 meter 500. Blade diameter from 250 to 350 with a maximum cutting depth of 11 centimeters. Both frame and beam are made of aluminum. And now the next model. A&S has a heavy-duty design with thicker gold components. Useful cut goes from 600 mm to 1300 mm. And we can cut up to 10 centimeters in the standard version, up to 17 centimeters when having the bigger version using a blade from 400 to 500. In this specific machine, you can see that now the work surface is wider. We have, in fact, the table version of 65 centimeters. We can see on this machine an optional accessory, which is a side table with rollers. All our portable saws can be equipped with standard table or rollers table to be purchased separately. Now we go back to the model we have used as a sample at the beginning, the tag, which we would call a hybrid because it's positioned in between the construction saws and the in-shop fabrication machines. Tag's head runs on a rail bridge made of two welded steel bars. The square-shaped rail design helps reduce deflection, thus improving cutting accuracy. This saw does not cut plunge style, which is typical of the construction saw, but the cutting depth adjustment is through a threaded bar using a hand crank turned to lower the blade according to the thickness of the material to be cut. This is the only model with a useful cut from 600 up to 2 meters. In the standard version, the cutting depth is 10 centimeters. The feed is manual. The next model is the A&R, the most performing model we will see today. Looking at the bridge design, you can immediately notice the main difference from the construction saw models. A rectified and heavy-duty beam added to a robust structure will make these models the worldwide top-performing saws in terms of long-lasting efficiency, cutting accuracy, and capabilities. A&R is one of a kind. We are not aware in the marketplace of other saws in this range able to equal its performance. The beam of this saw, rectified on 6 faces, where 12 adjustable bearings run, has a special shape with 2 small horns specifically designed to get lack of deflection and the greatest cutting accuracy attainable for a portable saw. With its 2000 mm maximum length of cut, it is absolutely ideal for fabricating perfect seals and steps. Cutting depth is not controlled by a plunge cut mechanism as with the other models described earlier, however, available on special order, but by means of 2 threaded bars that guarantee a much smoother and precise adjustment, offering much improved cutting accuracy. This model can use an optional slot device for horizontal cuts and straight edge profiling. This special kit, also available as a retrofit, can turn out very useful when having to produce ventilated facades, window sills, and steps. Also on special order, the A&R can be manufactured with a longer shaft electric motor, permitting to accommodate multiple blades, divided by special spacers, for processing skid-proof grooves on step surfaces. Of course, it will not be possible to cut all the way through the stone when using multiple blades, but just carrying out surface grooving. Another very comfortable tool is the CMS wet compound miter saw. This choke saw plunge cuts, bevels, miters, and performs compound miter cuts. Using the CMS, stone professionals can make straight cuts for a range of applications. It is equipped with a swiveling head assembly with positive locks at ±45, ±22.5, and 0 degree. Maximum cutting depth with a 350 mm blade is 10 cm. The CMS features a water recycling system and can be supplied with 1 or more side extension tables 1200 mm in length. Last but not the least, our rail saw model TSA. Very useful when having to cut a full slab on site. This small saw, easily transportable in our vehicle, is able to cut up to 4 cm in thickness. Its head is very similar to the tubs, which we have seen before, with the same power and features. It can be equipped with rails of 2,500 or 4 meters in length. We have now reached the end of the first live. Let me check if there are any questions so I can answer them. Is it possible to have the saw with a 3-phase motor? I confirm that all the saws that I have been describing are available both with single and 3-phase motor. What is the maximum cutting length for these portable saws? The minimum we have is 600, the maximum is 2 meters. Not all the models can reach the 2 meters. The only one are the PAG that we have seen here in the middle and the A&R, the most professional model. Is it possible to have a motor suitable for 110 voltage tension? Yes, it is possible. Which is the strongest beam among those we have seen? The best beam we have on this range of products is the one of the A&R, having the special shape we have seen before with 2 horns. The 6 sides of the beam has been rectified, so they can guarantee a smooth movement of the head and a maximum cutting precision. There are no other questions? If you have any doubts or you want to talk to us, you can contact us on our online stand. I remind you that tomorrow we will have 2 extra live. The first one at 11 Italian time. We will talk about our floor grinders and polishers. The second one, always tomorrow at 1:00 p.m. Italian time, where we will talk about CNC bridge saws. Thank you for your attention and see you tomorrow. Ciao ciao!